name is Mark and welcome to my channel. Join me all year round, week in, week out, come rain or shine, and together we'll be fishing for pleasure. Well, it's 7:15, not light yet. Can see some silverfish topping in front of that middle rod already. It's 3 degrees. I can see my line moving. I think I might have a little bit of action. No. Saw the line just twitching. You never know, it could be something there. Let's concentrate. You can do the chitter chatter after. It's a margin rod there, static dead, whole sardine. You can see the silverfish topping out in the swim. Hopefully there's prey fish there. We've seen them, so hopefully the predator is hunting them down and it's going to find my sardine. What a glorious morning. Been lucky the last 2 trips with my days off work. I had a big fish though for at least a month probably. So it's time to whack out a huge one, I reckon. A river monster. That's the scene. 3 rods. Left hand rod. Smelt on a running water paternoster rig. Fished about 18 inches off the deck. Obviously when I got here it was dark, so I really couldn't plumb up properly, so I've set all my stop knots at 12 foot. I'll adjust them as they get light. As I said, middle rod is a static sardine on the deck, and the right hand rod is a paternostered roach on one of those running water paternostered rigs. Again, that's 18 inches off the deck. Let's hope the pike match up to the vista. We have some stunning looking pike to go with this stunning looking sky. Let's crack on. Let's catch some pike. Good morning, troops. Welcome to the channel. Let's get doing this now. Morning troops, another day, another river. And I didn't think it was that cold, but everything's frosted up on the ground. The old unlucky mountain way sling, everything. Nice crisp frost on them, but you know, it feels nice and comfortable. Been fishing about half hour. It's finally daylight. Welcome back to the channel, troops. And they say, yeah, we're on the river. I haven't been on the river for a couple of weeks. It's like everywhere, taking a bit of a battering, taking all that excess flood water. So it looks in tip-top condition now. I'm looking out across it, and you know, it's blue sky, sun's rising, hardly a breath of wind, hardly a ripple on the surface, like a mirror. So you can see every movement. You know, you can see all the line twitching. You can see everything when it's like this. So I really do love it when it's calm like this. Cormorant just going over. So we've got 3 rods in. And what is the best method? That's the gist of the video today. The best method for pike fishing. The best method to catch a big pike. Now, we ain't got 6 hours to film every single method and every single scenario, obviously. So if you're tackling the water, you've never fished before, you're on there blind, what's the best method you can use to catch yourself a pike? Me personally, I'll go with a 3-rod approach if the rules allow and you've got a rod license to allow you to fish with 3 rods. And the reason I would do that is you can set up 3 different styles and methods of fishing straight away. You can have a ledgered dead bait, float fish dead bait, and a float fish paternoster dead bait. So you've got 3 different styles there. I would use all the same bait if I'd never fished a water before, but 3 different methods. That way you can fish at 3 different distances: marginal, mid-water, distance. Now it doesn't matter if you're on a river, a drain, canal, or even a lake. You can still fish the margins, you can still fish mid-water, you can still fish at a distance or a far bank. And I would use the same bait for all 3 methods and see which one is producing. Because fishing is organic. It's not like turning up at a known carp lake and you know exactly how many wraps you're going to fish to, exactly where you're going to put the bait, exactly what rig it's going to be, exactly what flavour it's going to be, whether it's going to be a wafter. You know, and you're there. But when you're turning up and you're fishing for pike, the pike follow the fish around. Now you could turn up at a venue and fish 3 float fished sardines, and the pike could be having roached all that day or smelt, and you won't get a run, you won't get a bite. It can be very, very strange when you're pike fishing. They go through spells of wanting a certain type of bait presented a certain type of way, and nothing you do will entice them into feeding. And it's up to you to organically, as the day goes and the session goes and progresses, to try and work out and try and figure out what's working, what isn't working. Now you could be so, like we'll take this river now. Not much has been given away. I saw something top left near the left hand rod, so I've moved that towards where I saw the fish moving. There's no fry scattering, there's no pike showing themselves smashing around after them. So are they in the upper layers? No, they're not. You'd see them chasing fry down or hear them. So that says to me they're down on the deck or mid-water and lower, where you can't see them chasing the fry around. Or still the same depth but a bit further out, because if they were chasing through the margins, you'd see the commotion, you'd see the disturbance. So at the moment the best method for me is to fish more than 2 or 3 rod lengths from the bank and present my baits quite low. So I've got one static dead, I've got one paternostered 18 inches off the deck. I brought it in because I saw a fish movement, and my right hand rod is again 2 or 3 rod lengths out, because I've not seen anything crashing around these margins from the middle downwards. I've seen it on the left hand side, so that's why I've positioned my rod there. And I have 3 different baits, only because I know the water and I want to see what baits they're taking. If I didn't know the water, I would have 3 the same baits to see what method's working. Of course, then you've got the old dilemma. Is it your method, or is it the spot where you put your bait? As I said, your session will grow organically and you'll work that out. And the more you visit a venue, the better you'll get to, you know, your venue, and you know what methods work and what methods don't. But what we'll do is, hopefully, we'll catch a few today on the methods I've chosen. Make me look right, make me look good, or I just look terrible, one way or the other. Let's crack on, let's catch some pike. Well, there we go, 10 o'clock update. And we ain't had the touch. Had 3 rods in for 2.5 hours. Not so much as a bit of excitement. So what we're going to do is we're going to reel them in and we're going to boost the baits. So I'm going to boost my left hand rod with sardine oil. Hang on. Well, isn't it always the way? There's me bemoaning we ain't had a run. Get a run on the paternostered smelt. And normally when my paternostered rigs, I normally nail them every time, but wound down it in the thin air. Wound down it in the thin air. So, at least there's something out there, mid-channel. I've got the bait straight back out on the fish's nose, hopefully. The fish wasn't even damaged, so... What gutter, what an absolute gutter. What I'll do is I'll boost the baits on the other 2 rods now. Didn't even have a chance with that one, and then we'll endeavour to catch some pike, but at least we've had a run. Hopefully it ain't the only run of the day, otherwise we are stuffed. Let's crack on. Something definitely had a go at that herring. I mean, that sardine. Keep keeping on a herring because I've been using them all winter. Something definitely snatched at it. It's dropped it though. I hope I ain't pulled it off the hook. It's gone. Wherever it was, it's either nicked the bait or it's gone. Well, that was a strange one. Something hit that static sardine and didn't come back for it, which is very unusual with pike. Once they hit a bait, they normally come back. So I wobbled it a little bit, hoping that it would instigate a take. It didn't. So then I'm worried, it's nicked the bait, you know, it's pulled it off the hook clean. So then you bring it in. So I've put fresh bait on, recast it bang on the fish's nose again, hopefully, and we get a proper run. But it was definitely a taker. Not only did it hit it, it moved it 4 or 5 foot, but then dropped it again. You wait that long for a run, you don't want it to be an abortive one, do you? Oh well. At least my theory about the margins hopefully is paying dividends, but never can tell until you get a fish on the bank, can you? And is it only a jack hitting a big bait? You don't know. Hopefully we'll find out. It's amazing what a couple of hours does. We're still scratching around for our first fish, but now it's cold, it's damp, it's dank. There's a strong breeze blowing through the swim. They're running the river off. Everything you don't want or everything you do want. I mean, if it had been like this all morning, I would have loved it. You know, there's no, you can't blame it, you can't say it's too bright. Well, and it's perfect really now. But we've only got an hour of daylight, so are we going to fill our boots in the last hour? I really hope so. I mean, it's been an uneventful day really. That's how we've had 2 abortive runs, and they weren't even proper runs. Both times something small has hit the bait, picked it up, dropped it again, and that's it. So now we've got boosted baits again in the water. I've boosted the sardine with sardine oil, I've boosted the roach with Predator Plus, I've left the smelt as is. Let's see if there's a difference between boosted baits and unboosted baits, but at the moment it's running out of time. That clock is ticking away. Got to stay a little bit till about after dark, probably, because there's temporary traffic lights in town, and I don't want to get caught up in them. So I'll wait for the rush hour to die down before I head off home. So I'm going to stick it out till it gets dark. But at the moment, you know, it's not going swimmingly, is it? That's pike fishing for you, that's winter fishing for you. You've got to put the rough with the smooth, and at the moment it feels rough, but it could very well change. I always say it. A couple of seconds of wash, you know, you're into a 20 or a 30. Or 10 minutes and you've had 3 low doubles, you know what I mean, or 3 jacks, 1 on each rod, bang, 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 you know, and you're busy and you're warm and you're cheerful. But at the moment, fleece is on now, so the temperature's definitely dropped if I've put a fleece on. And I don't know, I might even have to put the umbrella up soon. It's, you know, it's getting very, very, very misty, and there's a lot of moisture in the air. Let's catch some fish. Well, as you can see, everything's done by head torch now, and it's time for a slow pack up now, troops. Don't know if we're going to get anything before the clock runs out, but it's been a pleasure having your company on this video as always. Sorry I couldn't have livened your night up with a huge river monster. but that's why it's called fishing and not catching. Oh well. Tight lines, troops, and I'll see you on the bank real soon.